Hello folks and welcome. Today we will be playing Erannorth with a Lycanthrope witch, and we will be focusing mostly on the witch side of things, and in particular how to use spell components and the new path that you can follow of the minor and major arcana. You can see that the witch tree has been reworked in the version we are currently in. So let's first go and pick the Witchcraft Traditions, which is what will now give us access to the Unclad skill. It's added here. As you can see, the initial witch skills also have been reworked. Let's remove all cards from deck. We will be getting the Commune with Wolves, 3 Unclads, 3 Astral Missiles, Jinx, Effigy of Pain, and 3 of our 6th Sense card. We won't be relying on Unwilling Transformation or any of our other primal damage sources, but we'll be focusing on summons and the witch side of things. Let's do a preparation before moving forward. I will get a homunculus. Click start. Let's start with 6th Sense, and let's eliminate some of these. I will start with the Dwarf Bodyguard, follow up with intense damage sources. Even my homunculus now deals intense damage. And we'll follow through with the sorcerers. And our turn. We draw a card from the Echo action. I will toggle on the verbose mode by pressing plus on my numerical keypad, so you can see when Echo actions triggers, when stuff debuff and so on. And let's use our homunculus and our Athame, and also renew our 6th Sense. At this point I will just end my turn. So let's see here what happened. 6th Sense targets Jade. We got +4 retribution. We already have 4 from when we casted this action, so 8 minus 11 equals 3. That's how this happened. And let's also use a Jinx card on here.
Oh no!
Reinforcements arrived. I will play Unclad and Commune with Wolves, targeted on an enemy. Not on me, not on an ally, on an enemy. Because this way it will get multicasted. And we'll get 2 wolves instead of 1. They are both bewitched. I can activate the trip attack. It's a reaction, teamwork stun and teamwork vulnerable. Use the teamwork vulnerable and channel it with my Athame on this one. We'll end my turn. Let's use our companions to attack. Healed. When an enemy heals, they can no longer heal till these counters disappear. We can explore the area, we have enough action points. Keep in mind that if you find yourself exploring and an ambush or enemies find you and an encounter occurs, then you better have action points and cards in hand, otherwise they will get a free attack on you. Take the ritual, continue. We can study from the Dusty and Old Grimoire. Distract is a good card to have. Let's also explore and prepare. We don't have enough action points for the prepare actually. We can use Unclad and commune with wolves. Let's put here in the front of our attacks. And I can also use Jinx on the Novice Necromancer. Heal, harms himself, and let's play Sixth Sense, Astral Missile, attack. I will just use the ritual and then chant. The Hex does. When an enemy hexes you, you are discarding a card for its hex counter. And let's explore. We got an extra ration. These are our rations here. We can use them to camp and rest. Let's prepare. Pick the ritual card and continue. Remains of a dead adventurer. Let's get the insight to our deck. Okay, so we start with the Sixth Sense because I used it in the previous round, so we have the defended retribution bonus, just in case. These wolves are going to disappear, so we can renew them. You can have up to 3 allies before you get any summoning perks. And right click to... we already used the intense energy. I'll just attack. Prepare for the challenges, get the ceremonial cloak, which will provide us with more and more unclad cards, and preparation, get the ritual. So be careful when you do too much preparations, you end up with a full hand, but you are not drawing things from your deck which you might actually want. Let's use explore. We got an encounter. I will play the animal instinct. This will give us 4 defense, 6 retribution, and also a synergy of primal. So maybe we can do it. Play the ritual. Now use this on him. And now chant with the primal. Multicast it to each of these. We can finish off this one. Let's inflict vulnerable here by right clicking our wolf. This is a reaction. If we use it, we will lose it. If it's still in our hand after we play a card, we discard it. So it's we need to play it first if we want to play this card at all. I don't particularly care about this card, so I will just play the Astral Missile. And do a preparation. Let's get the Homunculus. Continue. Let's put him in the front. They both have shields, so we can use and at this point actually I will bring in the Homunculus as well. Otherwise the dwarf would have sealed it up and make himself much harder to defeat.
Level up.
You can also right click in order to cast cards. It will go to the optimal target, either the first enemy, either you or the first ally, depending on which is the most suitable target. But when in doubt, just target manually, okay. Okay, so here we want to take the Coven Traditions. This means that we will be saving our perk points for this. The thing is that when we reach level 3 we will get 60 perk points. You get 20 per level. Okay, so I can spend now 20 for the Herbal Lore and still get the Minor Arcana. Here it is. The Minor Arcana in the next level. Okay. Herbal Lore. This gives us the Herbal Lore skill, which will produce spell components for us, and we can replace the Jinx card with it. Okay, so this is our new deck. It has 18 cards because it has this distract here and this inside. Pick the Homunculus. Use Jinx. Remember, when you are removing cards from your deck, they are removed from your draw pile, and when you add them, they are added to your discard pile. So if you want to quickly access your new deck, you should shuffle. This will discard your hand and not give you a new hand. You have to end your turn after. Let's end our turn. Explore, we got a new encounter. I will use the Commune Wolves card. Multicast it because okay, let's generate another Unclad and end our turn. Attack. Sixth Sense. And I will just end my turn, because what will happen next is the Sixth Sense here will make our retribution 8. He will die from it, and then retribution will debuff. This is what happened here. And let's do one more preparation. Get the homunculus. Study. And here at Lana, if you have met her, the tactic is to bring her below half before she uses counterattack. That's on her second round. First round she will war cry if she has enough hit points. So let's have some herbal lore. Lycopus Brioni. Herbal lore. Let's use the Amanita Sinensis. Okay, now the thing is that Lana is level 3. My Unclad has a potential of 2. So actually we care about the card we'll play after Unclad in order to see if we can bewitch them or not. The thing is that we have this Atham here that has a potential of 3. So this will be the vessel of my spell. Which spell, you ask? First, I'll use Unclad. Normally, if I play the Athame now, it will get multicasted and also have Bewitch. Okay, but we have 2 spell components. Using them doesn't trigger the active synergy. So let's see now what our Athame does. All this. Multicast 2, inflict Bewitch, inflict bleeding 5, inflict weaken 3, inflict immobilized. Deal 5 damage, targets max damage -2. Wow, that's a lot for one card, and that's thanks to spell components. So let's enjoy that. And use the Animal Instinct. And the Effigy of Pain as the vessel of this primal source. Just attack. I can also try to get him off the picture. With the Intense 3 he will get a bleeding of 5. I can also use one of the Unclad into Lana, but the thing is I will just end my turn. She fights defensively. He uses Shield. Shield won't protect him from bleeding. He will die. Let's benefit from the fact that there are 2 enemies and summon 2 wolves. Multicast our wolf card, and he is bewitched, but he will die, so and Lana died too. Let's explore, prepare for the challenges, and get Ceremonial Cloak. Explore, we found a card, we also found this undead here. Let's first start and now we can actually use the Unclad just to bring in 2 homunculi. I guess that's the proper plural of homunculus. Play the ceremonial clock. I'll just read that for the focus. We get to draw all these cards. I will... none of this will benefit me in this encounter, but life doesn't end in this encounter, hope. Let's continue. Glad, use my authority, multicast it. Multicasting is a very powerful effect, and particularly if you can add more effects to it with spell components, it gets even better and better. I will end my turn. So he used his shield ability. You can click here and learn what abilities your enemies have. Knowing them can help you predict what they will do and when, because they are using a state-based artificial intelligence, so that depends on their hit points. If they are hurt, they will try to defend or use a survival ability, but if they are good and healthy, they will use their best offensive tactics on. Let's explore. We got ourselves another encounter. I will use Unclad. I will add the Potentilla Erectus in the mix. And now my homunculus gets defend 4 and will inflict bewitch as well, and will also have last 6, so it's bewitched. Enemy will suffer additional damage, and these two will be the targets. We bewitched only the second one. Let's continue. He hurt himself. So last didn't trigger because none of them was bewitched before we use this card. We are level 2, these are level 2. We can summon another. No, actually this needs teamwork, so this guy needs to be unexhausted, and if we summon another wolf now, this will go away. It's okay, I will use distract here. Play the Unclad. Multicast the Commune with Wolves card. Herbal Lore. I will get the Sassafras Albidum, and actually end my turn so they can get their bewitched damage before I move into my next action, which will be to just finish them off and prepare. Get the ceremonial cloak and continue. Get the insight. Explore. We got ourselves a new encounter. The more encounters you get, the more powerful you will be when you get to the boss. the more tokens and mastery you will collect because of your level and areas explored metrics. Let's use ceremonial cloak, use unclad, and multicast the animal instinct on this spider and on these Murkith are the toughest ones. I can move the spider back, she has this VIII status, and our turn. We have retribution of 12, so this will go away and this will get the remaining 5 damage. He went down to 13. This one had harmed himself with the VIII effect. I will use Unclad, add the Sassafras Albidum, and use my Athame as the conduit. And let's explore. New encounter. I will unclad and multicast my Alchemist Bomb. They are frozen, undead can get frozen, which is a good way to stun them. She's immune to all our attacks. These wolves are earth element. She's resistant to earth. Okay. So aside from losing the turns, freeze is a very good effect because it will also make them not to act. One more unclad. Use it as the effigy of pain conduit. And now finish off. I can't finish here.
Level up.
And also summon a wolf to finish the vampire. And this is the moment we've been waiting for, folks, because now we can go and pick the... where is it? The Minor Arcana perk, which will unlock for us a new skill here, the Minor Arcana, and we can have 10 copies of it in our deck. So let's review our deck. We have 2 insights. Let's use them. Self-deck, backpack. Okay, now I'm pressing D and I will remove all cards from my deck. I will take the Herbal Lore, I will take the Minor Arcana, I will take the Unclad. So we have already 16 cards on our deck, and I will leave the 2 slots for the Astral Guardian, which is for the Lycan Enforcer. Astral Guardian is a power 8, 816, and he is a 412, but he has a shapeshift ability, which actually turns him into I don't remember, I will just type it here to find out. Turns him into a 10-18 werewolf with primal 4. So I think Lycan Enforcers is a better option. And also give our charisma a boost. Needed 2 LP to go from 16 and above. And let's see how this... We don't have any cards now, let's continue. Let's see how our deck will work. Okay, so Minor Arcana. You restore 2 action points. It's a tier 4 card, which means it can get up to level 5 and will restore 7 action points at that point. And then we choose one, Random Arcana or Spell Conduit. Let's see. This is the Spell Conduit, we can pick only one. This is a multicast 3 times component that costs 5 action points. And this is a grid component that costs 3. We'll get the multicast component. Let's also play Herbal Lore. Get the Synergy Vulnerable and Synergy Sloth. Let's also play this Herbal Lore. Get Lycopus Bryonia. Okay, so basically I need 9 action points. This will be the Vessel card, the card that will accept all these spell components. So I'll just right click, and now this is my new Lycan Enforcer. It has multicast 3, vulnerable 4, inflict bleeding and inflict weaken. So Murkith is immune to all these effects. Put him in the back and use the Lycan Enforcer.
Hey, you! Stop!
Like so. And we can now right click to get the Shapeshift card. Of course we can't use it. And it's a reaction. So I will just attack with the rest and my turn. Bleeding will take precedence over whatever they are going to do. So they will just die. And you can now shapeshift one of your Lycan Enforcers into a werewolf. I'll also shapeshift this one to be ready. Continue. The dog, let's be kind to him, give him the stick, look for the poisonous plant, get the perfoliatum, bury his boss, but okay, I will just recruit him, why not? Continue. Let's unleash our wolves into the illusionist, because he has the illusory copy and can clone himself since he is level 2. I can shapeshift this wolf here to reactivate him. So he will shield up, but let's
Hey,
not
you!
let him.
Stop!
I will end my turn. And we got one Minor Arcana. I'll get the summon component, so this will make my summons stronger. Next time we will be multicasting the Lycan Enforcer. Let's also prepare. Ceremonial cloak. Open the chest, get the teeth medallion. I will equip the armor, and I will equip the teeth medallion. Continue. Explore. We got ourselves a new encounter before our wolf disappears. Let's use the Athame. Use. Okay, so what I will do now is first play. We need 8 to use this combo here. I will first use the Unclad, then use the component, and then the Lycan Enforcer to one of the enemies.
Hey, you! Stop!
So they got stronger with the extra benefits of the active benefits here. So the problem is that I now need to target an ally in order to keep this card. So I will lose the damage synergy. I will use Arcana. Get this card. So as you can see, we have essentially run out of action points. He has a primal slashing of 8. Better than trust the RNG at this point. And we can craft a quick Unclad Athame combo to deal with them, but not necessary. I will just start replenishing my action points. Right click to transform him. Right click and transform him.
Oh no!
Put him in the front. Use Unclad. Use the thumb. And finish him off with my trusted werewolves. Let's use herbal lore. Let's tap into our supernatural powers. This is available after level 3 and lets you prepare from your race cards. This is interesting because we can get a Curse of Lycanthropy. Continue. So let's make one of them a werewolf. Well, not literally, but we get this feral werewolf card, and it has a power +4 bonus. I can also add the damage component, I can also add the tomb component, and it's not like if I multicast this I will lose the power bonus, so I will lose a +4, but I will get 2 wolves, so it's a much more interesting proposition. Okay, I will use Unclad, and now we don't have the action points. So I will get a zombie instead, 2 zombies instead, and my turn. Let's exhaust these allies by attacking. Use our werewolf to replace this one.
A fresh kill.
And primal for 10 slashing. Continue. Can attack here. So I get with these two. I can use the thumb on this one. So as you can see now, my cards are infused with a damage +2 and retribution 4. The damage +2 is what we care in particularly about, because of the medallion my character wears. So I can't use cards on myself without suffering this damage. Let's get Curse of Lycanthropy. Do a witch preparation. Get the homunculus.
This is terrible.
So let's use a herbal lore on our enemy. It has the medallion's damage injected. Sassafras Alpidum. Intense 4 and double 10. And now let's see what the minor arcana will bring us. We can get a fury component or a multicast component. Get the multicast component and and I think I will multicast 3 this Curse of Lycanthropy. We got 3 werewolves, of course we can't summon any of them, but we also cleared the battlefield. Pick these cards. Continue. continue. Okay, so we have Cornwell and his friends here. I will start with Unclad. I will multicast the Feral Werewolves.
A fresh kill.
Right click this one to primal 11 damage Cornwell. 12 damage. Let's also use the thumb. Right click once more. And use the defensive capabilities of our homunculus to shield ourselves a bit from harm. Okay. Herbal lore. Get the pride effect. Pride will deal their max power in damage as long as their power is less than the pride effect. We will be synergizing here. But it's not necessary. Let's get the envy effect. And the chain effect. Or the replicate effect. Okay. So what we were going to do is use all these 3 cards I'm counting correctly. Let's first okay, I will just use the envy card actually. So first attack, then evaluate. End my turn. Let's use the Potentilla Uvaorsi. Let's use the replicate component and use Aratham here. So it got all these synergies and Aratham replicated, but okay, I don't have action points to use it.
Oh no!
Let's use Unclad, Multicast, Pelican, Enforcer.
Hey, you! Stop!
Okay, and continue. Let's play a bit more till the hour mark. Or till we perish.
Hey, you! Stop! Hey, you! Stop!
And our turn. And let's prepare for the challenges ahead. I will get the homunculus and continue. Close. I will prepare the ritual, continue. So herbal lore might seem like, okay, what's the point of the upgrade? Well, this card now has a potential of 4, otherwise it had a potential of my level, that's 3. So effects injected on it are much stronger, like this damage effect here, and this retribution effect here is 1 point stronger, so why not have it? I will get the Robus Agnus, Unclad, and a Robus Agnus, and let's finish this one off first. It's okay, I'll just move them in the front.
Hey, you! Stop!
Prepare for the challenges ahead. Get the ceremonial cloak. I will use one of mine. I don't have action points. Okay. Let's get them on stone. So the question now is, should we replace our Atham with any of these? Actually, this is offhand. Should we get this offhand? The question is rephrased. The answer is yes, because this ceremonial sword has a draw card effect, so essentially it will replace itself. It's like a free card. Of course I want to draw a card with such a full hand. Let's that was a mistake, because actually it's a reaction card. Get the envy. Get the envy. Use ritual. Add envy to my mix. And now use chant to transfer this envy effect, which will be like 11 missing plus the 4 plus 15 damage to each one of these guys here. Let's start with here. 20, 21 and 19. Pretty good. And our turn. Open the chest, get the alchemist bomb. Well, we can't particularly care about the vampire, but we care about getting maybe a new ally. Coven Initiate. It's a good choice. But Witch has skills to get this for free. Let's check here. Also we can sell the equipment we are not going to be using. Craft ritual, synergy, empower. So Gokardris Claw is a very good accessory, but it's also a very expensive one. Captivating perfume. I think I will get the studded leather and press my E key to equip it, go back to the town and sell the leather shirt. Let's keep shopping a bit. I will just leave the town. Pick the homunculus, continue, a blank note, nothing interesting, moving on, but we can still explore and do one more preparation. Continue.
This is terrible.
We got ambushed and this shapeshift card is now useless, but it doesn't explicitly need to target an ally, actually. So I can just use it here as a vessel for this damage synergy we had going on. And I will use Channel Ether, Ceremonial Cloak, Play, Unclad, and use the Athame to the first two. So that's pretty cool. Let's let him act first, but I can also continue playing because we gained level. We restored 11 action points. We got new cards here. We got 80 perk points, which we can now invest into the Apprentice Summoner. This makes our summon limit +1, and the Hermetic Studies or the Chanting, because they are both good witchcraft cards, witchcraft perks to have. Hermetic Studies has a tree which it unlocks. It gives you this perk at level 4 and this perk at level 6. You can buy them as long as you have these Hermetic Studies here. And then I think I will take Hermetic Studies. Imbue Venom. I will play the ritual. Use the Amanita Perfoliatum. And now use the flipping sound. Moving on, study the grimoire. What lies in the dark? Multicast 2, your concealment gets plus 5%, target's concealments get minus 2. If they have flank counters, action gets primal 6. So this is the perfect anti-ambush card actually. Assuming you have it when you get ambushed. Let's use the Athame here. Put him in the front. Unclad, Lycan.
Hey, you! Stop!
Enforcer. Chains. Chains. And I will also use my unclad and sword to see if they get bewitched. They didn't, so I'll just attack them. He will shield up, but at least let him shield up at 5, maybe we can bleed him. Or have him suffer retribution damage. Okay. Use the minor arcana. Get the gluttony component. I won't take any of this. You can always skip the pick if you don't like the results. The spell conduit card is pretty good if you invest in upgrading it, but not for this particular build we are aiming for. Continue. Groggle. Okay, let's see if we can beat him. He has spiked armor and raids and warcry. They all have warcry, I think. This one also has flank. And this one has shield. How should we play this? First, let's attempt to bewitch our enemies. I will use Unclad, get the synergy of multicast and bewitch to my Atham. None of them got bewitched. Actually, he did, but our damage broke it. Let's attempt another Unclad.
Hey, you! Stop!
Okay. Remember, we can now have 4 allies because we got this neat summoner perk. Just end my turn. So he only got 3 from my werewolf. He has this slashing and piercing resistance. Now he has these rage counters. He deals way too much damage, this guy. Let's build our retribution a bit. Also enabled his spiked armor. I'll be attacking him with my allies. And now we can get some damage. We got 2 damage from the spiked armor. That's nothing. It's the wait till you see the other guy kind of thing. And this was our perks. The skills we got. This is the deck we finished with, relying on minor arcana, unclad, herbal lore, and summon. And I hope you enjoyed this video and saw firsthand the power of spell components and how they can enrich your strategies. That's all, folks. See you next time.